Mayor Menino death hoax. Well, yeah, that happened up there in Boston. I mean, there's a huge story to that alone, and basically, like, we were up in Boston, we were just crushing it, and CBS Radio, they would be the ones that hired us in New York City. They hated that we were crushing their radio station in Boston, so they're like, we got to get these guys out of this market. So I'll tell some of the old stories today. What the hell? Because it's fresh because of the Vice TV thing. They're like, these guys are killing our radio station. We got to get them out of. We got to get them out of Boston, man. We're losing millions of dollars on these guys. Oh, they're from New York. Well, Long Island in particular. Well, let's try to get them to New York City. They can help our New York City radio stations, and then we will weaken our competition in Boston by taking them out of the market. So the behind the scenes thing of the whole mayor prank is the fact that we weren't as crazy as you thought. We already interviewed with 2 New York stations. They flew us down secretly. I don't even think we took a day off because we didn't want anyone to know nothing. So we flew down to New York City secretly. We met with K-Rock and WNEW. And then they're like, well, now you guys got to choose what station you want to go to. And we're like, K-Rock, of course, because they were playing the same music we were playing in Boston. And this is a true story. That's why he's such a... See, I can't say what I want to say. I might have to turn off TikTok so I can really speak openly about this. Another reason why Howard is just a little you-know-what. He went to Mel once again and went, I don't want them on the same station as me. Oh, it was so easy to get under Howard Stern's skin. I don't want him on the same station. This is a true story. Because they told us to pick, and me and Anthony picked K-Rock. It was the much better fit back in the day. NEW was playing butt rock, basically, really old who gives a crap rock with really old who gives a crap DJs. K-Rock was the younger, hipper radio station, and they were playing the exact same music we were playing up in Boston. So I'm like, we won't even miss a beat. And then they come back to us and like, well, you can't pick after all. We're going to put you on WNEW. But there's only one problem. You guys are under contract. So I went, got it. They basically were saying it's too bad we can't hire you because you're under contract. I went, oh, all right. I know what we have to do. And it was made pretty obvious, basically, if you didn't have a contract, we will hire you in New York tomorrow. And it won't be K-Rock because Howard, made that phone call behind the scenes once again and whined about you guys. So we're not going to have you on K-Rock. We're going to put you on the WNEW. So that's why I laugh when people go, oh, this Hope is crazy. He's out of his mind. No, I'm pretty calculated. Have been my entire career. So after that meeting in New York, I'm like, all right, I know what I have to do. We just got to get out of this contract. Not only are we going to move back home to the New York area, we will make way more money than they were paying us in Boston because they were taking advantage of our talents up there in Boston. So April Fool's rolls around. I famously called Anthony first thing in the morning, woke him out of bed. I was already up for hours just pacing because I had this idea. And I'm like, all right, I just got to kind of wait for him to be sort of awake. So I finally called him. A groggy Anthony comes to the phone. Says, this is all the stuff I would have told Vice, but they never even contacted me. Whatever. I go, Anthony, I got an idea. And I told him what we were going to do for April Fools with the mayor. He's like, that's great. Oh, all right. I don't even think he was listening because he was half asleep. And then I said, all right, I'll see you later this afternoon. And the rest is history. Went on the radio, knowing that we had those great meetings in New York City. I went on the air that day, knowing that they said it's too bad you're under contract. And I went on the air going, I'm about to do 3 minutes. That's going to change my life. Thank you, Simon Cowell. Should have been on AT&T with this. I knew just as I was about to go for it, I'm like, this is about to change my life for the better. I just knew. And then we did the mayor's thing. And within a week, we were fired. And everyone's like, they're crazy. They just blew up just an amazing career up in Boston. They're like rock stars out up here. They have a CD out that was charting nationally. They can't even walk around the streets of Boston, wherever they go. They just gave up all that. And they're basically saying, you're crazy. And that's when a consultant, a little side story, a consultant, we also flew down to Atlanta for a job offer, which we knew we weren't going to take, but our agent was in bed with, what was it? I think it was Clear Channel at the time. And they were trying to get us to go to Atlanta and do radio. And I was in a strip club with a consultant. And he goes, man, you just like blowing things up. I'm like, no, I'm pretty calculated, but I didn't want to tell him all the behind the scenes stuff. So then all of a sudden, we're fired. And now I'm just waiting in my apartment for the big phone call from New York to come in. Like I did my job. We had the interview. And they're basically saying, it's too bad you're under contract. If you weren't under contract, we're going to hire you, or we would hire you. And then all of a sudden, I did all that. We're not under contract anymore. And then all of a sudden, I forgot who called me first. It might've been my agent. And they're like, they don't know. That was so over the top what you did in Boston. They don't know, or they're not sure if they should hire you guys. I'm like, oh my God, did I just miscalculate this whole damn thing? And then the big guy who ran programming for CBS Radio, he's like, why don't you boys fly down to Washington? Let's have a little meeting. So we got on a plane in Boston, just mobbed because now we were the shock jocks that did this crazy stunt. So we had paparazzi outside our houses. The story is but there's so much more to this. And we were able to get to Logan Airport, fly down to Washington, where most people didn't really know much about us at all. And we met with the guy. We famously had a suitcase filled with stuff, each of us, because we just thought they were going to wine and dine us for a couple of days in Washington. And I explained everything to the guy, and he goes, all right, I'm satisfied. I'm gonna give the okay for my people in New York to hire you guys. I'm like, all right, right on, man. And that day I knew we were going to go to New York, and it wasn't easy. We had a lot of work cut out for us, but all right, we were going to get our giant chance in New York City radio. And then the guy's like, can I call you a cab? And I'm looking at Anthony like, wait, I thought we were going to stay down here in Washington, get a nice steak dinner in, stay at a fancy hotel, maybe go walk and check out the monuments. And we were back in Boston the same day. And then, we got fired in April in Boston, and we were on the air in New York by right around the 4th of July weekend-ish, somewhere around there.